Yes, good evening. Just playing a few of the new presets inside a BIT-2. And we have then over 1,500 presets in total. I think it's about 1,600 new presets. I'm just putting them in the introduction bank, which are typically... So for instance, this one is using... Sounds a little bit like an FM sound, but this is white noise in sync mode to oscillator 1. And in the arpeggiator sequencer, you can see it plays a sequencer, so monophonic sequencer, and you see some steps go on off, which is this magic mode where you can set a few, your choice, up to 4 notes that they change the step being on off, and or having the plus semi tunings, which are plus 12, minus 12, plus 7 or minus 5. So even if it's major or minor, it doesn't matter. So it detunes then one of these steps. And if it's set random, which is down here, it means that each time it's the same one. And if you go fully random, that's one step back, it does one step further, then it's fully random. Then it keeps on changing each time. So it's up to you. So set random, picks with the first time a random one, but then repeats that random one. Yeah, so... and of course it's virtual analog. And so you might think, where are these bells come from? Well, the bells come from having phase modulation. So it's a virtual analog, but still you can do FM modulation, ring modulation, and also phase modulation. And because we have this clever solution that inside each oscillator you also have its own envelope, its own LFO, and you see here the envelope is used. Here you can see where you can put it on the feedback, on the symmetry. Now, and you see in the volume it has a little ring here, means that something is active, and you see the amount is open. So the oscillator 1 has a volume envelope. If I shut that down, going, so it's had a little bit. So you also have a little 2-operator FM synthesizer. So yeah, new presets. We will have a very cool bank from which is not full, but start with 30 presets, which is the Klankwelt, which I played at the start of some very nice. So this sounds very moogish. It has a little bit of edge, and this is done by using the distortion here. So yeah, then of course we have Jumel presets. But before we move on with BIT-2 and showing you a few new presets, and by the way, it's going to be released next week, Thursday, the 27th of April. If everything goes well, and until now everything goes well, so that will be the release. And if you have then the Explorer 8 bundle, you will have a very nice new synthesizer inside your bundle at no cost. And of course, we have, for people who purchased recently a BIT, we have a free upgrade at a given time. And so it's going to be a very cool next product in our whole Explorer bundle. But before that, I want to mention that today we released an update of BLUE-3. It does not have yet the NKS because we have some issues on the Mac getting it NKS compatible with the M1 processor. So hopefully that will be solved soon, but it's currently pushes us back quite a lot. And the Machine 2 or the Complete Control, if it's running native M1, it doesn't see our plugins. So we need to see how we fix this. So what is new in BLUE-3? Here's the latest additions. We have a graphic update from the FX screen. So let me open because I mentioned a few weeks ago that I myself did not like the BLUE-3 FX page. So we went back to how it was with more like BLUE-2. So this is now the new FX page, and you see here are the 4 blocks. Each block has its own modulation source and destination, so each FX also can be modulated. You see FX 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a little bit adding a little bit more overview in my opinion. So okay, the other thing is let me see, we have the graphic envelopes. You see the graphic envelopes, but if you go, for instance, to the filter envelope and you switch that to a negative amount, you get an, and then it also goes over in the negative display. So this is a negative amount, and you see even the image here, the envelope image switches over. So that's new. The other thing is we fixed some presets with volume, improve the wave shaping quality. We have wave shaping here, so here this is the wave shaping, so that's improved, something which is also inside of Quad, for instance, this wave shaping. The sample playback preview, if you work with your own samples, it has, here you have this preview, and that one is louder in volume now. So nothing is loaded here, but that one is loaded in volume. So all kind of little things and some new presets, and in my opinion, these are in the sequence banks, but I'm not sure. I think these are the new ones, which I'm not sure because I don't have the backup from the other one. So this one using the wave sequencing. And of course I shut down the string model. So yeah, that's I think there's more. Even we have in the control page, some people say if you shut down the DC and the filters, DC filter makes that you don't have, if you do wave shaping or symmetry modulation, you got a kind of DC signal in the very low frequencies, a kind of offset they call it, and that's a filter. And some say without the filter it sounds better. In some cases, so for these people, we have this option here, DC filter on. Is in this case, it's active, but if you can put it on. And also what is new now is go to the Papen homepage down here, but also download latest version. So it's not the case that something pops up, that there is a new version, but you regularly could start up this one, download the latest version, and then it will say, okay, you have the latest versions, which is now BLUE-3 version 1.0.1. So if there would be version 2, you right away would download the installer. So that's a small improvement, which makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to go to the home page and download how we say that? Log in and download, open the download page, then you get right away it will open for you the PC installer. Let me see if there's more, because I put it here. Oh yeah, we have the play mode. The play mode, you see, this is also new. We have a lock version. So you can say the play mode, for instance, people who have then if I go to pads, people have then maybe a multi-expression controller, a Rolly keyboard, and then they can say, okay, I want to have everything poly MPE, and of course they can adjust here the range, 4 octaves, and then put that on lock, and then each preset will be in poly MPE mode. So this is the play mode lock. Because the play, how the preset does play is saved within the preset. And that's nice, but if you are using poly MPE and you don't use the sequencer or whatever, then you simply put on the lock and then it locks in this type of play mode. And the same would be then, for instance, if you would say, I would go to a R bank. So here's an R bank. I put the lock off. Yeah, and up. And then you say lock on, and then you could go to a different preset, even to, let's say, if you do in the quick browser, you go to synth sounds and pick one of the, and then you have the arpeggiator with this sound, which is, this one doesn't do anything. Okay, no sound, no idea why. Put off the lock. Okay, maybe maybe I found that's still a little bug if you go to another bank. This is poly mode and I was in the ARP mode. So this is I need to check because suddenly the sound was gone. So the lock mode, if you go to a different bank, doesn't seem to keep it. So let me try this. I put lock the poly mode on, then I go to a different bank, to the R bank, and then it should still be. Yeah, here it is. Here it works. Yeah. Yeah, it still works. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but now it works again. So you can use it with osmosis. Yeah. Yeah, it's correct. So with an osmosis, you can use BLUE-3 now. You set it on poly MPE mode. What you need to check, of course, is that BLUE-2 is then on Omni mode, which is the MIDI input. Omni here, this should be Omni mode. And then of course, in your music software, you need to see that the input or what you put through is also all MIDI, not only MIDI channel 1, but then any. Because with multi-polyphonic expression, each note gets its own MIDI channel. That's the way it works. So then in your MIDI setting, can you see it guys here in Cubase, you need to have MIDI setting, not one particular channel, but any, that it passes on this to BLUE-3 and have in BLUE-3 you need to have then the BLUE-3 in Omni mode and then you can do the poly MPE. And of course adjust the pitch bend because that's also taken, so then you have to pitch bend much higher, but that is also then if you go to the next preset, the pitch, you will see, oh, why does it change? That's range. Pitch bend should not change. Okay, but still some little things I notice. Pitch bend should be then also in the poly MPE mode the same. Should not change. Okay, something we need to update, I see. Yeah, sorry for that. I see the audio engineer in the chat room has the osmosis or a Rolly keyboard. Then yeah, with this we need to fix. I will discuss this tomorrow with John. Okay, so this about BLUE-3. So there is a what I did on Facebook. We have a Facebook group about Rob Papen software, which there I put also the link for downloading. So, but if you're not on Facebook and not in this group, you also can log in, of course, to the Rob Papen homepage. Go to My Products. If you have Explorer 8, you don't need to. You must not download Explorer 8 again, but scroll down and there you will find the BLUE-3 installer and run that one. So no need to download the Explorer 8, just simply download the single installer of BLUE-3, which you will find in the download page of Explorer 8. Simply scroll down and then everything will pop up alphabetically. Okay, so now back to BIT-2 and show you some presets because I'm talking too much. I think we should hear more some sounds. Here we go. There it is again. Let me see if I can put that one there. So it's throwing a little bit of the windows. Here we have BIT-2 again. And BIT also has this lock mode. So here you can see also we have lock mode. So this is poly, and I go to the next preset, and here you can see the pitch band up and down stays the same. So here it's okay. That is something we need to fix in BLUE-3. Here it locks also the pitch band and the pitch setting, even the port setting. So here we also have the lock mode. So here you also can say if you have the Osmos or a Rolly keyboard, you select here poly. Okay, that one doesn't show. And I also need to write down the MPE doesn't show because it's locked off. Of course, it's locked. Then the poly MPE mode, and you say it's on, and then you have the poly MPE mode, and then you can go through all the presets having the poly MPE mode. You don't have to manually switch with each preset, and so that's a new feature, the lock play. I think we will add that in every plugin we have, so you can expect this also very soon, for instance in an update of Predator 3. Okay, you don't have it yet. Oh yeah, the Osmos. Yeah, okay. Okay, everybody, welcome in the chat room. As mentioned, it's all going well with BIT-2. Let me play some presets. So we have over 1,600 presets in total with BIT-2, and we received, of course, some nice presets. Klangwelt has also some very cool stuff. So let me play a few of the Klangwelt presets. I didn't give them a star, but okay, not sure. This is an eerie sound. This is called Tomita's Ghost. Okay, now I see what goes wrong. I had the lock mode on. So what I will do in the future, if lock mode is on, is that something is bleeping, a kind of maybe a square around it that blinks on off to keep the user informed that the lock mode is active. So so you see, I thought, yeah, some of the presets didn't work. It's a nice lead sound. Very smooth lead. And you see, you also hear a little bit of distortion on the amp, because then you, if you don't use distortion, it's very clean. And on a real analog machine, there's always a little bit of a gritty thing. So these are some effect sounds. So this is the Klangwelt bank. Some very cool stuff. To more classic synth sound. So that's for, yeah, Skyscraper. Oh, yeah, that's also a nice one. And what Gerald, the sound designer, said, he said, well, what I love about BIT-2, at first glance, it looks like a more simpler synthesizer, although it has a lot of features, in my opinion, already compared to, let's say, a real analog machine. You have 2 filters, 2 oscillators, an arpeggiator. But then you have the modulation matrix with so many targets. So if you click here and open the menu, you have the global, where you can have destinations of the ARP. You could modulate the unison. You could modulate the tuning of the unison. You can modulate the oscillator, all the parameters. Even the, you see here, where is it again? The spread of the spread, the super saw and the super square, you can have the stereo amount and the spread of it. So the tuning amount, filters, the effects can be modulated. So by using the modulation matrix, you can go totally modular with the synthesizer. And you see in this patch, it's a very complex patch where he uses the free row to control the oscillator 1 LFO speed. Here's the LFO, which modulates. Let me see what it modulates. Oh no, it's the free LFO, this one. So even if I put that on the filter, yeah, Klangwelt has also a great CD, by the way, which is a very good CD. He has a very good artist as well. Next week I will show you the CD. I have it in the office. Really a very nice CD. And you see he's a very skilled synth programmer. And of course, we have the Bank of Jamal, some superb material. Always surprises me with very special sounds. This is like a wild orchestra. I think this is how it sounds when the whole orchestra sleeps in the concert hall and then wakes up in the morning. Then this is the noise they make when they wake up. So I'll play some other preset. very distorted. And you can see this one uses the new distortion A10. Yeah, it's definitely weird. Synth sounds. Oh, this one is funny. It's a banjo. Fox banjo. There's a nice joke. Sequence sounds are always great with Jamal. Yeah, and this is my favorite by Jamal. And by the way, for the ones who missed it, I uploaded a little video last Monday. I was in a silly mood and I simply took my mobile and filmed the studio as it is now. I have a new rack, a Casper rack for my sampler, the E4 keyboard, the Antonic Acer 10, the diamond strings, and an old rhythm machine. And maybe you saw this video, and otherwise watch on YouTube that you can see it as one of the last videos where I simply go with my little mobile. And it's amazing how good these quality are from these mobile devices. And then I simply shoot a small 1 minute video about all the gear in the studio. Yeah, cool. So I see that. Yeah, I also shared it on Facebook. Yeah, cool. Okay, so this is another preset from Jamal. Originally, I think that one is already. So I'm checking here. Another arpeggiator. It's a very nice groove. And you see here ribbon up velocity distortion amount. So the velocity controls the distortion amount. Okay, what is this? Oh, annoying. Oh boy, this is so stupid on Windows. If you go to down, it opens this weird thing from Windows. Yeah, the Jupiter 8 is getting old. Yeah, definitely it's an old, but below it, it's the 8SH5, which is even older. Which is from the end 70s. Well, the Jupiter 8 I purchased in the 1982. after we had some success with Nova, I could afford it, and it's in my possession since that date. And of course, a synthesizer, which is a good reference also for BIT-2. And of course, I showed that already a little bit, that the pads, the way I created is essentially the way the same as I created them on the Jupiter 8. So we had the these pad sounds. So. On number 2. So I have different types of Jupiter pad sounds. There's a little bit difference in modulation. I made also a type, but let me see where that one is. No, star pad. That's more melting ice pad. So yeah, undertone dark pad. Oh, that's dark one, yeah. Yeah, about my Jupiter 8, it's a I think I have the 14 bits version. The 12-bit version, it's about the faders, the R conversion, the digital controlling of what setting you have, how the parameters are laid out. That's digitally controlled, of course. And there was the first one were 12-bit and the second one 14-bit, something like that. But I think I have a bit newer one, although it doesn't have the DCB connection on the back part. The DCB was a kind of big multi-connector, which but the precursor of the MIDI connection. So pads, yeah, definitely. This is also form and pay. The new filters are the form and 2, which are a little bit close to the vowel filter. It sounds a little bit like a phaser, but it's not the phaser. The phaser is off. Here's the phaser, and it's off. Choir, yeah, choir are more are also here, but that's even closer, I think. It's oak choir, and then you can. Yeah, we have these. So that's the vowel filter, which is the upgrade to BLUE-2. Stupid me. BIT-2 will be €35. So €35 or $35. That will be the upgrade. If you already own a bit, that will be the upgrade price. So new inside BIT-2 in the oscillator side are the super saw waveforms. Of course, the tuned noise, we already had that before. We have more filter types. We have lots of new features in the ARP. And today I posted this in the Facebook that essentially, let me see, I have this picture, and that's what this is what I showed them. Here you see this picture, what I posted. Essentially, I posted that 43 years ago, many years ago, essentially, when I was 15, I created for the, let me make it a little bit bigger here. Where's the zoom? Okay, here's the zoom. And you see here I have a picture of BIT-2, and you see inside of it I have the SQ10 core sequencer, 12-step sequencer. And here you see this little box below it where I made that one switches. The original one looked a bit different because this is the remake I made myself again. And then what I did when I was 15, I connected these to the switching board, and I could go from 2 steps to 4 steps to 8 steps or to 12 steps, simply to make more variation with the sequencer, because the sequencer was very limited, of course, and you have to be creative at that time. You had to be creative because, yeah, since with presets at that time we did not have, so we have to be very creative to do stuff. So and I made a green arrow, and then you see catch up here on the start of the loop with the sequencer loops or the ARP loops. You can change the start point, and the catch up on the number of steps, and that is the dynamic way. So something which I did essentially 43 years ago is now back in a virtual synthesizer, and I thought, yeah, that's funny, isn't it? So it took, in other words, it took 43 years to get that in the software. That's another way of looking at it, of course. So that makes that you can make some very cool ARP or sequencer sounds. If I so here I can have the dial, so I can go from making 8 steps or making it 4. And you can control this by MIDI controller. So you have the dynamic steps, and I showed that last time. I just simply recorded this. So let me see if I record this in a track. So okay, we go to a. Here's the sequence. I have to put off the cycle, and then I can simply record this. So if I use this sequencer, I do this parameter recording, which you need to put on here in Cubase. Let me show you where it is. In Cubase, you need to write the parameters, and then I simply, on the flow, I can record this. So before I start playing, so the beats plays, I set to 4. And you see it catches up on the even, which makes it easier that you turn the dial, or with your mouse, that you hit a bit earlier the right thing you like to have. So 4 or 8 or 16, for instance. Now it's 8, 4, 10, 8, 16. I even can record this one. Okay, and then something else pops up here, which we did last time. Okay, so let's go back, and then we simply can see it here in the sequencer. So let me make it a little bit bigger. Here's bit. Oh, I forgot to press record. Okay, now I need to, okay. So I need to play, but then it will, you see here are the parameters recording. And then you will see them pop up here that this dial starts changing. So but I need to play manually. You change it? Yeah. And now you wait, and then it changes again to 8 steps, 4 steps again, and of course I could change here also the start point, and that one catches up on even. So here's this little dot, now the loop is on 9. And now it starts again on step 1. So checking the chat room. So that's one of the cool features where you can use the arpeggiator or in sequencer mode in a very dynamic way. Let me see. The modulation matrix expanded. We have the lock mode in the play mode. We have multi-polyphonic expression mode. So that's new. Oh, this is, by the way, the back panel. We have different interface sizes, 100%, 125, 150, and 200%. Animated dials, you can shut it off, because that's why the dials, you see now a red ring around it, because that changed. Drag and drop you can put on off, MIDI program change, bank change, and also MIDI output channel. So that's default off, but it's the case that the sequencer also puts out the notes. Okay, checking the chat room if there may be questions. BLUE-3, the update for BLUE-3 is out now, which has the, I mean, it's a lot update. Huh? The upgrade is already in November release, so the BLUE-3 is already released, but we have a update where we have the FX page it looks a little better now, because I was not happy how it looked, so that one is now much nicer to look at. There are a few more presets. We have the graphic envelopes if it's in the decay stage. You see, then it's longer. So this is the volume. It's not. Is Emma Blue playing? I'm not sure. So now it's put the lock is on. Off. I need to set it off. So lock is new in BLUE-3 if you're using a multi-polyphonic expression keyboard like the Rolly or this new other machine. No, the name slips, which sends out multi-polyphonic expression. You can set it there too and then lock it. Then all the presets are in display mode. And we need to update it again because, or have a little fix because the pitch band was not memorized if the lock was on. That's, of course, something which is important with polyphonic expression, is that the pitch band also is a big range, because then you can do, with moving your finger, you can do the vibrato. The Osmose, yeah, good one. Thank you, the audio engineer. The Osmose keyboard or the Rolly keyboard. So expect next week also another little patch for fixing the pitch bend thing. And I think what is wise is also once lock is on, is that it has something that blinks so that you notice that the play mode is in lock mode. But these are little things. We fix that, of course, very soon. We have a few more presets. And this is then the BLUE-3 version 1.0.1, which you can download now and run. So we have quite some little bug fixes, but yeah, the biggest changes you will see is, of course, the FX page, which has a little bit more overview. Yeah, yeah, this lock mode could be tricky indeed. So therefore, I think we need something which blinks so that people, once they have the lock mode, that they see, hey, I'm doing something which is not the common thing. Okay. Yes, checking the chat room. So, from BIT-2, let me show you a few more of the new presets. We have also some nice presets from tonal axis. So let's open it here. Go to the bank manager. And I like this. It's a really analog lead sound type of sound. Also, quite some distortion here, I see. Yeah, cool. The distortion really sometimes gives this little edge. This Momo movement is very nice. It's also cool sound. Distorted. Then we have, this one is also the oi oi. Using the vowel filter. Yeah, so some tonal axis, some new presets, of course, with Jamal new presets in BIT-2. A few played already. No, that one is an older one. So some classics. Yeah, and of course, new is the ribbon controller with the spring back feature, which you might know from the Disrupt sphere. Sound effects, I made one eerie one. Let me see. The stereo. And this is the kitchen FX which we did last week, where the oscillator, which is pink noise, modulates the frequency of oscillator 2. I think it could be bacon. I'm a vegetarian, but you see, presets can be even a kitchen sound. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, it has some, I mean, some classic, really analog sounds. So it's really a virtual analog machine, but that's clear, I think, to you guys. Yeah, ARP sequencer, a lot of ARP sequence synth sounds. I think I made almost 40 of them. This is the Super Saw, and we played them already. And what I like is the control of the, let me see if I can find one. So here you see the ARP free row controls the amp decay. If you click on the number, so the ARP free row controls the amp envelope decay and also the filter 2 envelope decay. If I click on this number here, I do bypass it. So this is without the control. And this is with the ARP free row controlling the decay. You can really make some. Let me see if I have a little bit more. Oh, this one was also nice with the... And here you see that the filter, you can split the filter. Split oscillator means that oscillator 1 goes into filter 1 and oscillator 2 goes into filter 2. And also here the ARP free row controls multiple things, so let me bypass. And tubular bells. Yeah, that's in the synth sound. I made some, and that's again, that's the funny thing, or the little trick we have is that the that you can use the phase modulation for bell sound. And so some of the new synth sounds, I'm not sure what this one is. Classic synth sound. Rise Nippon Brass? What's that? Here again, the marimba, we made that one last week, also using the phase modulation. So these are the it's a 2 oscillator synth, but by shutting off the oscillator 1 to going into the filter, you can use it for only controlling or modulating the oscillator 2, and then we have these different features. So phase modulation, FM modulation, wing modulation, and then you get all kind of different sounds. Yeah, Tonal X is high in the. I see it's in the chat room. I just played already some of the presets. There was also very nice bass. This one we liked. This using the formant filter. and this one, Revenge of the Atari, is also it's a game machine. So, and a bass, you had a very nice bass, which is in the, let me see where it is. Maybe I put it in the introduction bank. The introduction bank has now, you see, far more presets because I added some of the new ones. Let me see, bass. Shorty bass it was. A bit dark, but very nice. So, yeah. And then, as mentioned, we have the very cool bank by Klangwelt, which also has some very... So the new distortions, I think in synth leads, there are also some presets where... Let me see. Here, square distortion. Really dirty. Yeah, these are more the mellow, sweet sounds. I'm not sure where they are. Tiny overdrive. But this is a typical Minimoog style lead sound. A little bit of overdrive, which because in the analog circuits you always got a little bit of distortion, and that adds then the tone. Yeah. Okay, guys, it's already 9 o'clock. Let us play the demo. So next week, Thursday, keep an eye on it. We will release a BIT-2, and then we also send out a newsletter. And if you have Explorer 8, I think it's wise then to download Explorer 8. Then we also have the BLUE-3 update inside of it, and of course the BIT-2. Or in case you don't want to download the full bundle, you also can simply scroll down and then download the BLUE-2. Sorry, the BLUE-3 update and the BIT-2 upgrade. Oh, it's getting late. So in the download page of Explorer 8, you will find next week also the BIT-2 installer. But then, of course, you need to use your Explorer 8 serial while running the installer. And that's also a way how you can add BIT-2 in your system. But we will mention this also in the newsletter, how to do this. Cool. Now, we have another demo by Tom Aldrich. Wide Open Remix, it's called. Maybe he can mention what he used, and let's enjoy it. And thanks, Tom. Already cool that you sent another demo song. And of course, maybe you can type what you used inside of it, because that you did not mention in your email. Anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. So we go out with another cool Tom Aldrich demo. And yeah, we see each other next Thursday in another live stream. Cheers and keep well.
All right, guys.